now. So we're doing the new podcast because if Alchemist got a monster podcast, I get a kaiju podcast. Maybe Zed will get a Pokemon or a video game monster podcast. We will see. But this one, I'm going to call it the Gotta Go Godzilla, kind of after the Blue Oyster song of Go Go Godzilla. I think it's just called Godzilla, but it got the lyrics of Go Go Godzilla, so that's what gave me the idea for this. For this podcast, what we'll do is it'll be just like previous podcasts. Each week, I ripped my head apart trying to think of how we would do this podcast, and I just came to the conclusion to keep it easy and keep it short. We would just do a monster of the week, starting with the Showa era of Godzilla. The Showa era referred to just for reference sake. Alchemist Zed, do you guys know what the Showa is actually referring to in the Showa era for Godzilla films? I didn't know this.
Well, I thought it was the name of the director, but if you didn't know it, I'm assuming that's not.
I thought it was director as well, but no. It's referring to a political period of Japan that lasted from 1926 to 1989. During the reign of Emperor Showa, formerly Hirohito. And the Heisei era referred to another political period that started after that went from 1989 to 2019, and that's the Heisei era. That's why it's called that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I did not know that, so I'm learning new stuff about Godzilla that I didn't even know about.
Well, damn, okay.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was referring to a political time in Japan. I thought it was referring to like a director or a specific studio or a producer or something like that. Because the other movies refer to, studios or to the time period or to maybe the actual film itself. For example, the current Godzilla that's going on in America is called the Legendary Era because it's made by Legendary Studios. So
they would be the ones to make it.
Yeah, so that was your first little Godzilla trivia of it. But pretty much what we'll do in this podcast, we'll go over the monster of the week. I will be the hype man for that monster. I will try to build up why a lot of fans are really going after this monster, why they like this monster, or maybe I won't have hardly anything to say about this monster because this monster is so obscure. I am lucky to even find a name for it, let alone any information about it. In which case, that'll probably be the episode where we'll have like 3 or 4 monsters in one episode, just so I can pad out the episode to be longer than 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
But for this one,
we can do padding.
Yeah, we can do. You guys can feel free, pause me, ask questions. This one will probably be one of the more longer episodes, just because I chose a monster that is in a couple of films. I had played the audio of it, and I'll play. So I think that's still fresh in your guys' mind. I'd
like to hear it one more time. I think I know this. I want to try it one more time.
You think you know? Okay, so hang on 1 second for you guys. I will, real fast for you guys, attach you into the audio just like the listeners. So here it is one last time.
Oh wait. Yeah, I know this. I know this.
You can describe it. And Alchemist, before you describe it, I will actually give you a hint because I wanted to give it. I let them listen to it before, and I wanted to give a hint on air by giving you the nicknames of this monster. The first nickname is a very obscure nickname that I did not know it had. And this is, I had no clue this was his nickname, and I knew most of the nicknames. The first nickname I found that surprised me, Fierce Dragon, or it could also be translated as Violent Dragon.
Okay, now I thought I knew this, now I'm second guessing myself because, like, I picture, I think I see the creature, and it's got a bunch of spikes on its back.
Okay, I will take that. There's two creatures who have spikes on their back. The first one is Varan, and
Anguirus!
the other is Anguirus or Anguirus. It's pronounced multiple ways.
Oh, okay. Well, was that it though?
Which one do you say?
I said Anguirus. I don't think I pronounced it right.
You didn't pronounce it right, but you did get. I think you were going for it, which is another pronunciation for it. Anguirus, Anguirus.
Okay, well, to make sure that it's the one that was in the second Godzilla movie, right?
Hang on, let me make it crystal clear for you. He did make a cameo in the second Godzilla film.
Wasn't he the one Godzilla fought in the second movie?
Okay, there you go. You just
yeah. Well, didn't he fight that thing in the second?
Okay,
movie?
Sorry, I thought you meant second legendary. Yes, second Showa era Godzilla. Yes, it is Anguirus. He was in the second Godzilla film. He was the first monster Godzilla ever fought.
All right. Yes. Wait, he was in the legendary series?
Yes, he cameo. So and that'll come up later. I'll bring that up later on. Well, no, I'll bring it up right now since I diverted to it. He did make a cameo in the legendary series. It was a blink and you will miss it scene.
Clearly.
He was the skeleton in Godzilla's home when Godzilla got hit by the oxygen destroyer and went back to his lair to recover. They did a very fast pan of the city next to Godzilla's lair, and Anguirus was right in the middle.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch the movie.
Archimage, I have went through that frame by frame. You literally have to almost freeze frame it, go second by second to see this, and you have to clear up the image to get, because this is from behind the scene.
Okay, this might sound like bragging, but I'm gonna say it. Shadow Arfox, you know my eyes. If anyone can do this, do you think I'm capable?
You probably will be the one to see it. So I do not doubt it. You probably will be the one to see it. So some other nickname for Anguirus is he is the underdog. This is the name I always known him for. He's very well known in the Godzilla community as the underdog. He's always he's always the underdog in the fight. He's always the smallest one in the fight, and because of that, he's very endearing to a lot of Godzilla fans, because he's always the weaker one going into the fight, but he's going in the fight against bigger monsters. I mean, look at his first fight. He went up against Godzilla. That's a heck of a flex.
Pretty much.
I mean, you go after the king. I mean, granted, it did not end well for him, but
does it ever end well for him?
But well, we'll get into that. His other nicknames: Godzilla's companion, friend of Godzilla, best friend of Godzilla.
These I'd heard. He
is the only monster who can claim the title Godzilla's friend. No other monster can really claim that title. Maybe Rodan. Mothra, and not so much. That's only in legendary.
Oh yeah, and in legendary, it's not even friend. It's almost like symbiotic. I don't know what their relationship is, but I know there's probably a Rule 34 about it.
Oh, we'll get into that another episode. That'll be another episode. That'll probably be. That'll be another.
Remind me when that episode is, so I can call in sick.
There we go. He is based on. Even in the movie universe, he is described as a giant Anguirus dinosaur. So he's not really much of a. He's one of the few kaijus that just is a giant version of a dinosaur. And that's how they describe him in his first movie. That he's just a Anguirus who somehow survived and got exposed to radiation, and he's really big because of it.
Yes, because everyone knows exposure to radiation turns you into giant monsters and gives you superpowers.
I mean, yeah, that's what Marvel taught me.
It's amazing we don't find more people going and rolling around in radioactive waste.
I think that was a problem at one time. I think that legit was a problem at one time. Some random facts about him. He is 60 meters tall, 100 meters in length, 30,000 metric tons.
Nice.
I didn't even know it showed this about him, but 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie. I did. I'm wondering how they are breaking that up. I didn't even think to break that up, but he doesn't win a lot. He doesn't win a lot unless he's working with Godzilla.
I was gonna say, yeah, that seems like that's kind of the theme of the movies.
Yeah, and he's a stout armored quadruped reptilian creature. He's a dinosaur. His powers are pretty much he got a spiky back. So if you try to, so he that is probably his number 1 weapon. He utilized that very greatly. He's good at jumping, very agile. You wouldn't think that looking at this creature that he's agile.
No.
I mean, you see this thing, I do not think he's agile. First thing I think is, why is his knees touching the ground?
I was gonna say costume problems.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Is the costume. I don't know why they never fixed it. Don't ask me why they didn't fix this, because they did a modern version of him, and the only one I seen them fix it in is the one we hate, which is Singularity. Because I think he had just regular legs there. But
yeah, I refuse to give any credit to that series.
Surprisingly enough, fans prefer this version of him. They really like this version. And a lot of people like Anguirus. He get picked on a lot, and he get beat up a whole lot. But everybody liked the underdog. Everyone want to root for the underdog. And Anguirus is literally the kaiju version of the underdog. He is always willing to jump into a fight. He definitely probably won't win the fight, but he'll take the fight. He will go oh yeah, go for it.
I mean, that's respectable in many ways.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of fans actually like about him is he's always going up against people bigger than him, but he's always going up against them. Other thing to note, now this is something that's gonna get a lot of people, and this got me. His height. You see that his height is 60 meters tall, correct?
Yeah.
Now, you see him with Godzilla all the time in the movies. He comes up to about Godzilla's waist.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Showa era Godzilla is 50 meters tall.
Huh?
Yeah. I just want you to take that. Take a second to think about that.
Okay, look, I know as Americans we're not good with the whole metric conversion thing, but that seems a little off.
Okay, so I've been trying to figure this out because the previous picture I showed you, that was from the Godzilla compendium, which had a bunch of official facts about the monster. So it's from an official source. It's not some bootleg source. This is straight from Toho themselves.
Okay.
So I've been trying to work this out because it was very confusing to me to think, wait a minute, why is he taller than Godzilla in this book?
He's just been slouching this whole time?
Well, at first I thought maybe this is referring to him on his hind legs. But then in another, when I was trying to do more research behind this, I looked up the Millennium version, which is the Final Wars version, in which all the monsters are a little bit taller in that movie. And they put him at 40 meters when he's on all fours. and 90 meters standing upright, which for Godzilla in that same situation, Godzilla is 100 meters tall in that movie. So that makes most sense. He's half the size of Godzilla.
Yeah, that
So
works out.
I think that they just kind of, I don't know whether they were just not paying attention that day or whether they were drunk that day. I don't know which one was the case, but I kind of went in myself and did a little fixing and made him about 30 meters, and that looked more accurate in my opinion.
Yes, that looks more accurate. Because otherwise, I gotta think maybe something was lost in the translation from Japanese to American.
So that's the first little trivia for it, was that they made him taller than Godzilla. And it doesn't stop there. He was 30,000 metric tons. Godzilla in Showa era is only 20,000 metric tons. So he's in a greater weight class than Godzilla.
You sure Godzilla's not supposed to be the underdog in this?
I don't know anymore. So,
okay, I think what we've learned from this is that America rules and we shouldn't use the metric system.
I mean, at this point,
that's what I've learned.
Maybe. So, yeah, take that for. Hopefully, some of the future monster heights and descriptions make more sense, because heaven knows that had me scratching my head when I was researching this.
Yeah, no, that's bizarre.
Other than his spiky back, his other noble qualities, he does have an ultrasonic roll. I thought where basically he just yell and it caused damage to things. I thought this was only in the video games as a way to give him a range attack. But no, this was actually in his first movie.
It was?
Yes. Yeah. So in the first movie, when Godzilla and Anguirus are fighting each other at Osaka Castle, Anguirus rolls and it caused Osaka to crack. It caused Osaka Castle to start cracking. So.
Oh, I thought that's just because he was stomping on the ground.
No, that's from his yell.
Nice.
So I didn't know that was actually in the. I thought that was always a video game power, but no, that is a power from the movie. Good to know. He's good at digging holes. He liked to burrow on the ground and dig around, as we've seen in some of the movies.
Yeah.
He's also very intelligent. Possibly one of the most intelligent Showa era monsters we will see, probably. Just because, one, here's the number one reason why we know he's the smartest. He made friends with Godzilla.
Good point.
That
Good
alone,
point.
that alone should be key, that he is the smallest monsters out there.
Yep, get on the good side of the biggest player in the playground. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
The other thing that made him, that they noted as him being intelligent, in one of the movies, when Godzilla is fake, he's an imposter Godzilla. Mecha Godzilla is pretending to be Godzilla. Anguirus is the first one to figure out, before even humanity figure out, that monster wasn't Godzilla.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, and he went to confront it too. And then when he lost to it, what did he do? They don't show it in the film, but they do say it in the novelization behind the scene. He wasn't just retreating. He went to go get Godzilla to get help. Which is pretty clever. That's actually really clever of a monster to say, yeah, this thing is kicking my butt. Can you F it up for me?
Yeah, no, I remember that. I'm just like, wait, wasn't this also the one that you showed me in that clip that was talking?
No. So that is Godzilla versus Gigan, in which the only time they made Godzilla talk. in that movie, that's probably one of the most well-known movie with Anguirus in it, is because Godzilla and Anguirus here, there's aliens trying to take over Earth, as they always do in the Godzilla franchise. And
as they do.
They're playing some type of tape that humans can't hear because it's on a frequency humanity can't hear, but for whatever reason, Godzilla and Anguirus can hear the tape. And they know something is going on. Godzilla talks to Anguirus and tell him specifically, something's happening, go investigate. Which one shows their friendship, that Godzilla trusts him to say, hey, there's a problem, go look into it for me. And Anguirus was like, yep, I'll go check on it.
I really gotta watch this one.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. I have watched it again today just so I could remember everything for this part. Anguirus swims to that location and get attacked by the Japanese defense force. Nice. And rather than engaging them, he retreats. He just runs. So you think, okay, they beat him. And I thought originally when I watched this as a kid, I thought they beat him and that's why he retreated. No, he went back to get more help. He was small enough to go, yeah, this is going to take a long time if I try to plow through this. You know what? Let me just get Godzilla. Something's going on. Let me go get Godzilla, see what's up. So he went back and literally got Godzilla to come in and help him. He was small enough to know, well, I can't really deal with these humans. I mean, maybe I can deal with them. I can eat a couple of them, step on them, but they're going to shoot me a lot. Who's really good at stepping on people and making sure humanity doesn't get uppity with us? That's Godzilla. Let me go get him. And they both swim to that location and arrive there, and the aliens are controlling Gigan, a cybernetic monster, and King Ghidorah, a three-headed monster. Both big rivals to Godzilla. And they engage them. And it's a 2v2 giant monster fight of a movie. One notable thing that also speaks to Anguirus' intelligence. Throughout the fight, he is coordinating with Godzilla in order to beat the opponents. Where Godzilla is just going to town on each one of them because he's Godzilla. He can take the abuse. He's a slugger. That's his whole forte, is he can take abuse and just dish out more.
Exactly. His fighting style is take out everything and be the last thing standing.
He's a straight up brawler. Anguirus, right. He was more of attacking, retreating, biting at them, drawing their attention, or sneaking up behind them and attacking them while Godzilla is drawing their attention. There's one scene that I didn't even pick up on where Anguirus actually key Godzilla into a plan where Gigan throws a rock, kick a rock at Anguirus. Anguirus swat the rock away, pass the rock to Godzilla. Godzilla knocked the rock right into the monster's face.
Nice.
So they literally can tag team with each other. So Anguirus, very intelligent, very dextile, very agile. Not much of a fighter, but a very smart monster. And I'm starting to see why a lot of fans really love it. Other things to note, and other appearance of Anguirus, in the comic books, there's one page in one comic book that I just truly love because this is my definition of friendship. And this may even get Zen to laugh when he see this image.
Is he using him as... Okay.
Yep. Godzilla grab Anguirus by the tail and use him as a club against King Ghidorah, Mecha King Ghidorah.
I mean, okay.
That's real friendship. When you will let your friend use you as a club.
Right now, ever grab me by the leg and try to use me as a club, I will break your arms.
Funny enough, I was thinking that you'd probably be the one to do that to one of us.
I would be, and I would expect y'all to do the same thing to me.
Absolutely, 100%.
That got me. That got me right there. I think this was from Godzilla Ruler of the Earth comic book, if memory serves correctly. He didn't really play a big part in that one, mostly just cameos showing up every so often. One thing I do notice about him, he doesn't really attack people that much. The only time he goes after humanity is he's either being controlled by aliens or he get attacked first by people. Most of the time, he would just leave people alone and walk away. So
that sounds right.
Not very aggressive, which makes sense. He's an Anguirus soul, which was a hoverable, so they probably didn't go around picking fights with creatures. Other things to note, there's 2 Anguirus, just like there's 2 Godzilla. The first one died, and the second one is the one we see in future movies. Because in Anguirus' first appearance, Godzilla raids again. Godzilla killed that version by biting his neck and then setting him on fire.
Yeah, that'll probably do it.
And yet, the second one he became friends with. Don't know how, but okay.
Let's not think about it.
Yeah, probably not best to just think about it. Other than that, he showed other noteworthy appearances. He fought, in the comic books, he fought Destroyer. The monster that fought Godzilla at his peak.
Dang. How'd he do?
Well, he didn't do great initially. I'm trying to be his hype man. Look, he didn't do well. He won in the end. It was a tag team fight.
Did he die the first hit?
No. Well, you see the first hit right there. There's the first hit on that page.
Okay, then I'll give him props. He survived the first hit. You know, well done.
In that fight, basically, he is the underdog. He's fighting Destroyer. There's humans there, watching. I can't remember what they were doing. It's been a long time since I read that comic book specifically. But basically, the long short of it is, he never really do back down from Destroyer. He keep fighting him, despite, look at the size difference. He's huge. And Destroyer, for those at home, he is the final monster of the Heisei era. He is also the monster who fought Godzilla when he's at his strongest. So this is no slouch. He's possibly one of the strongest Godzilla monsters out there. And the fact that Anguirus tried to challenge him in the comic book, it speaks a lot to how he's a very scrappy underdog. Other than that, the way he won was the human partially froze Destroyer, and Anguirus curled up into a ball and did his best imitation of Sonic spin dash towards him.
Nice.
That is one of Anguirus' abilities. You don't see this in the Showa era, but you do see this in the video games and in the comics, and in the last movie that he was in, Final Wars. He can curl up into a ball and launch himself at high speeds towards his opponents, like Sonic. Final little noteworthy appearances. This is just to annoy you two. Children books that
for heaven's sake,
I actually have.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
Why?
Of course I do.
Oh God, really?
What in the hell?
So the first one, Who is Afraid of Godzilla? Where the other kaijus won't let Godzilla join in their games. So Godzilla leaves.
Wait, what?
You know
Wait a minute, what?
Oh, I knew these children books would get you.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Yep. They won't let Godzilla join in any of their kaiju games. So
Consider he murders most of them. That's probably a good idea.
Ignore that. Shh. We don't talk about that. So he goes off to seek friendship elsewhere, which is considered a violent rampage by all of humanity. So then while he's gone, basically, Anguirus get picked on by Megalon and Gigan, two monsters in the Godzilla franchise, and he get knocked down into a giant empty volcano. I don't know what you would call it. Hole, ditch. And
Sure.
that the picture you see right now on screen for those watching on you, listening to the podcast, is Godzilla using his tail to help Anguirus out of the hole, and they basically become friends, and they let Godzilla in on their kaiju games.
Before he murders them.
I was trying to find that book. I could not find that book on my shelf. I think I'm still looking for it. I bet you is because it's such a small book. I bet it got wedged in between a bunch of other books, which is why I can't find it. The other one would be Godzilla on Monster Island, I believe was the name of it. In which case, and I chose the one picture that wasn't. I tried to get a picture that wouldn't. Because if I chose one of the other pictures, it probably would make you guys laugh too much on it. In this one...
Is that Mothra's cocoon?
Yes. In this one, Anguirus finds Mothra's cocoon on the beach. He get Godzilla, and they both work together to guard the cocoon while Mothra's hatch.
No, Godzilla would destroy it without a second thought.
Depend what era of Showa you're talking about.
The fun one.
Well, here's the thing. In Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, they're all living on Monster Island together. And they fight each other from time to time when they go into each other's territory, but they don't flat out kill each other.
That's what I said, the fun one.
Okay, so yeah, so that's also the one where Godzilla and Mothra and Anguirus and all the other monsters work together to beat the living tar out of King Ghidorah. So it's not too on far that Godzilla would let that one would help out in this one. But no, this was just another one to show very much that they always refer to Anguirus as being Godzilla's partner. I mean, Sherlock Holmes got Watson, Robin Hood got Lil Jon, Batman got Robin, Godzilla have Anguirus.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but I have to kind of address the, I guess, elephant in the room, though that seems kind of minimal dealing with the subject
giant
matter.
kaiju in the room, yes.
Yeah, so these children books,
yes.
Was the point of them to say that kids, if you see a giant radioactive lizard, don't worry, he just wants to be your friend?
Which one? The first one or the second one?
Yes to either.
The first one, the main thing was, oh jeez, for that first one, it was literally just finding a place to be accepted. The second book, I don't think there wasn't really a theme to that one. That one was just watching Godzilla fight other monsters while defending Mothra's cocoon.
You see my point, though.
I mean, children's gonna like giant monsters.
That's fair.
I mean, how is it any different than a children book about a T-Rex?
Well, this one isn't sing. Wait, does he sing?
No, but we could go. What's the name? They're Back, the dinosaur movie.
We're back.
We're back. Yeah, that. I mean, so look.
That was my point. That's what I was thinking about. It's like, as long as Godzilla doesn't sing, I'm kind of all right with it.
Yeah. No. Oh no. I'm now trying to think. Have there been a Godzilla musical?
Oh God. Well, there's a Frankenstein musical. There's an Avengers musical. There's a Spider-Man musical. There's an Octomom musical.
There's a Reptar.
Why not?
There's a Reptar musical.
Wait, that's real?
Well, just because of the Rugrats, I'm pretty sure Nickelodeon have done a parody of that.
There's a Shrek musical.
Well, no, I know the Shrek musical? No.
To be fair, I've watched it. It's not bad.
No, there is no Godzilla musical. Like, no official one.
Good.
Surprised
To be fair, though, nothing could top the Octomom musical.
Oh, jeez.
I've never seen it, just that it exists. I refuse to ever see that. Like, I saw it while I was vacationing in Arkansas. I was literally walking by a theater. I saw the poster for it. I was just like, I literally did that thing where I stopped midway, took 3 steps backwards to look at this poster and go, no, this can't be real. Like, yeah, a little part of my soul died right then. You can understand why, right?
Yeah, no, a little bit. But other than that, the only other thing I have to add, some fast trivia. Anguirus roar. Can you guess what musical instrument created that noise?
Crap.
I'll give you a hint. It's a woodwind instrument.
I was thinking that it's not a flute.
Not a flute. Not a trumpet either.
No, it wouldn't be a trumpet.
And if I give the hint, it's probably gonna give it away. But I'll give
saxophone?
it. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It's a saxophone. I didn't know that.
Well, I knew it couldn't be a trumpet or a flute, so in the end, it just had to be a saxophone. Because honestly, I don't know many of instruments like that.
Other than that, the other trivia I had that I found interesting, which you would have seen, Archimage, in Godzilla Raids Again, the second Godzilla movie in the Showa era franchise, Anguirus' first movie, his carapace, the spiny back, was 2 segments, and it frequently kept coming apart. So they essentially fused it together towards the end, but the problem was they had already shot the scene of the final fight by Osaka Castle at that time. So in that fight scene, you can see in parts of that fight scene where his carapace is splitting in 2.
I actually did not notice that, but to be fair to myself, when I watched it, I was kind of under the weather, so...
Yeah, it is one of the things, if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't see it. But if you're just doing nothing but watching the movie, you can't miss it because it like literally flies apart to the point you think it looked like wings to the cover to insect's wings.
That is hilarious.
So other than that, that's the first monster, Anguirus, the underdog, the best friend of Godzilla. Anything you guys want to add before we end it off?
I'm still trying to get over the children's books.
Oh, those are the only 2 that I had. I probably will use them again as reference because those are also 2 of them actually have images of one of the monsters that I can't find hardly any other images of. So I probably will use those again.
That makes sense. Again, I'm just going, okay, Japan, kids, remember, giant radioactive lizards are your friend.
Well, I mean, those was made by America.
That's fair.
If I recall correctly, I believe those books was both manufactured in America and the license.
Okay. Now it makes more sense. Okay, so that means instead that America's saying, you hear that, Japan? If there's giant radioactive monsters, we're clever. We'll teach our kids to get them first.
I mean, that's a good life lesson. I mean, that kind of fit with some of the Godzilla comic books where if you have psychic powers and kaiju start popping up, it's clear that you're going to be able to control at least one of them.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So...
Oh, God, they were doing Pokemon long before Pokemon was a thing.
It really was. I mean, how many Godzilla movies had Well... when did Pokemon come out? 1996? 1994, I believe.
Zed, I fall back on your expertise for that.
I think it was
which one?
The very first Pokemon game. I think it was 1994, if I'm not mistaken.
96.
96. Okay, because in that case, yes, they was doing psychic children controlling giant monsters because I think the earliest was like 1980 85 or 86 when they started doing movies like that. So in the Heisei era. No, wait, sorry. In the that would be after 1989. So that would be
Okay, Shadow R Fox, you're going robotic in all sorts of crazy ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then that's probably just on Discord messing up. Am I still in and out for you guys?
Yeah, he's still going, but it sounds awesome, so keep going.
Okay, no. In that case, anything else you guys want to add in there before I...
Okay, I'm assuming you just said anything we want to add. No, I'm good, but, Rise to the Robots. Well done.
Ah, there we go. I'm going to love just watching this. And you guys are freaking out going, why is he sounding like a robot? And I'm just going to be like, nope, it's completely normal in the podcast. Okay, we'll end it off here. See you guys next time. Hopefully with a most stable internet connection for myself.
Okay, he's back. Okay, sounds great.
I like that I came back as it was ending. Okay, bye all.